Good morning to all of you. My name is Sai Babu. Please subscribe to my channel, YouTube channel Legal Matters by Shankar Sai Babu. I am a retired additional superintendent of police and now practicing an advocate and as an assistant professor of law in Indira Pradesh Law College, Ongole. Please subscribe to my channel. Today, we are going to discuss the case law on the disciplinary proceedings in which a police officer was subjected to unfair, unjust and oppressive treatment in the hands of the senior officers, even though the disciplinary proceedings and the criminal case registered against him contain the same thing. Normally, we will be under the impression that disciplinary proceedings are different from the criminal case. Of course, we have to agree, because normally the judiciary, they will look into whether there is evidence or not, whereas the administrative part or the disciplinary action will say whether the procedure has been followed or not, whether there are any irregularities, like that they will look into. Anyway, here it is only one incident but two actions, that too after the retirement. Now let us quickly go into the facts of the case so that you will be able to understand the same and appreciate the incident. So this case relates to a sub-inspector who was a directly recruited man of 1974 batch. Of course, he was promoted in the year 1983. Of course, in the meantime, he was trapped by ACB and some charges were leveled against him. Ultimately, he retired on 30/9/2009. But in his continuous service, he has faced so many hurdles in the name of the so-called departmental inquiries, which were unjust. Right. So you can see this case as the reference to WP number 2/2019. It was decided on 21/4/2020 by two judges bench of M.S. Ramchandra Rao and Amarnath Gaud of the state of High Court of Telangana. This case you can read as G. Sridhar Reddy versus Home Secretary that is state of Telangana. Right. So here the court held that it is unjust, unfair and also oppressive to allow the ex parte proceedings. Now let us know the course. So this man, as already told you, is a sub-inspector of 1974 batch. So of course on 18/11/1997, he was trapped by the ACB. Of course, normally the disciplinary proceedings are charge sheet to be filed. He was placed under suspension on 18/4/98. After 5 months or so, he was placed on suspension, and of course, due to his influence or something, so the suspension was revoked on 6/8/1998. Fine, he resumed duty, but on the same grounds, on 1/6/2002, he was suspended. Once again, second time suspension. Therefore, he approached the administrative tribunal, which has totally exonerated him and he has to be reinstated. But of course, the government of AP did not agree, even though the court stated that he has to be reinstated. So the government of AP did not agree. Ultimately, once again, he filed a contempt before the APAT. He was reinstated on 21/2/2006. Right. But once again, on 3/4/2007, to his bad luck, a criminal case was registered against him as though he forged the signatures of his senior officers, and he was once again placed under suspension on 3/4/2007. Of course, a case in crime number 2/2005 under section 468, that is forgery purpose of cheating, and 471 were registered against him in CIDPS. Of course, they filed the charge sheet. The case was acquitted also. He acquitted on 22/11/2012, that is after his retirement. And also, the government went in appeal. The appeal was also dismissed. Criminal appeal number 757/2014. It was the appeal was dismissed in 2014. That means whenever he went to the court, justice was done. But he was hounded like a criminal. Being a police officer, the senior officers hounded him like a criminal. Okay, let us forget the suspension period, ACB type and all these things. The main part is regarding his suspension in 2007. 2007 he was suspended on the charges of forging the signatures of senior officers. Why it happened? Because when he was working as inspector in that is APSRTC vigilance, so it was ordered that the ACRs of the persons who are fitted to act as DSPs, they should be mentioned. So he was under suspension almost right from 1998 to 2002. He was under suspension. He was reinstated in 2006. Right? So ACRs were not available. Therefore, the allegation is that he has prepared or he has forged the signatures of his DSP and others, and he has handed over them to one Narsimha, the camp clerk to the DIG Hyderabad range, who inserted the same in his personal register and sent the same. Of course, it was detected, and a case in 2005 has been registered against him, and the matter has been pending. Right, that's second one. Now, as far as the departmental action is concerned, he was placed under suspension in 2007 on the same charges of forging the signatures. Of course, lack of integrity on that conditions, he was suspended and inquiry was instituted against him. When did the inquiry was started? The inquiry was started in 2009. By the time he retired, after his retirement, inquiry was started, and the proposals of his punishment, the punishment awarded to him is cutting in his pension. 5% of his pension will be cut. The GO was issued in 3/3/2020. So initiation on 2009, and the inquiry was completed. That too, inquiry was completed ex parte without his presence. So what is the basis of the preliminary inquiry? When once the inquiry started, the basis of the preliminary inquiry is gone, because the witnesses have to be recorded, the documents have to be taken. So without all these things, they have concluded the inquiry and came to the conclusion they have cut 5% salary. Once again, he has to file a writ petition before the Honorable High Court. So Honorable High Court has taken it very seriously. That and stated that the inquiry officer, how can he conduct the inquiry ex parte when this man raised objection? The objection raised by the CA is that on the similar grounds, the criminal case has been acquitted and there is no necessity to conduct the inquiry. Of course, he did not attend the inquiry. As such, the ex parte was done. And basing on his previous statement that he has forged the signatures, they have the inquiry officer, is SDPO Nalgonda, he has proved the allegation. But the pertinent fact to be noted is that that during the period of suspension, wherever the person is under suspension, there is no necessity for writing the ACR. Normally what they say is he is under suspension, as such for this particular period no ACR can be drawn. Then what is the necessity of him for the forging the signatures and producing that too? When the ACRs have to be produced before the DIG Hyderabad city, suppose if they are sent, they are allegedly sent from the office of the MD of APSRTC, they have to receive it by the DIG, but instead of DIG, the camp clerk took the same and he gave the evidence, but he could not say as to how they were procured. So there are no expert evidence has been recorded that they are the forged signature of the senior officers. Normally, the handwriting expert should come and certify. It was not done. So therefore, investigation is the burden of the investigation is definitely perfunctory, the case acquitted, and now this man says that the inquiry is proved without conducting the inquiry in a proper way. That means without the giving an opportunity for the defendant singly ex parte inquiry. How can he conduct the ex parte inquiry? Secondly, no reasons were assigned for the proposed cut in the so-called pension. There should be some reasons. It is not a reasoned decision. So, as the witnesses in both the criminal and civil case are the same and they stated the same facts, definitely the inquiry should also have exonerated him. But it is the inquiry conducted ex parte is unjust, unfair, and actually oppressive on the part of the higher officers. So anyway, now the proposal of the state in GO number 131 cutting his pension for 5% is totally set aside by the High Court, and he is notionally promoted, and he is entitled to full pay, full pension, other benefits also. If his batchmates have been promoted to the rank of superintendent of police, yes, he has to be given that post, and the pension should be fixed at that level. Very good judgment. Please read it thoroughly, because department election normally when once you retire, they will put the Order 9 of the pension rules. As per Order 9 of the pension rules, your pension is cut. But here, since no opportunity was given to him, since it is ex parte, definitely the court has come to the rescue of this officer and held him honorably. He was reinstated to his original position. Good judgment. Please read it. Those who are particularly the police officers who might have been, of course, facing some troubles, if they read this case law, they will be much more benefited. Thank you.